If you're a mom who works out consistently but is still feeling weak, unstable, or stuck in your training, this episode is definitely going to change how you think about strength. We are going to be breaking down why strength isn't built in workouts alone. It's not just built in the gym. There's so much more that goes into it, and what busy moms are often missing when progress stalls. You're going to be learning how the body actually adapts to strength, why movement quality, fuel availability, recovery, and stress all matter, and why doing more isn't always the answer. Grab a notebook and pen, mama. Let's get into today's episode. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos? Whether you're 4 weeks postpartum, 2 years in, or done having babies, you deserve to feel like yourself again. Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong Nourished Momma Podcast, where you'll find simple, science-backed strategies to heal your core, rebuild strength, and restore your energy without the overwhelm. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Strong Nourished Momma Podcast. I am your host, Val Warner, sports dietitian, strength coach, and fellow mama. And this show is all about helping you feel strong, nourished, and energized in motherhood, no matter where you are in this beautiful journey, in ways that are realistic and sustainable. Before we get into today's episode about strength, I want to share something briefly because it ties directly into today's conversation. Inside my 8-week group coaching program, the Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method, we don't just focus on workouts. I'm not just telling you to do some more Kegels and here are the workouts that you're going to be focusing on. We actually focus on how your body actually adapts to strength through movement, breath, fueling, recovery, and support during the motherhood journey. Whether you're a week postpartum, a year postpartum, or 10 plus years, this is all going to be super helpful and very important no matter where you are in that journey. One mom who just finished the program this fall shared, having a baby was hard. Yeah. Having a baby is hard. Let's say it a little louder for the people in the back. Having a baby was hard, especially your first babe, right? You don't know what you don't know. The first 3 months were hard, but finding yourself again as a mama is the hardest, she explains. Your mind, body, and soul have all changed so much, and I had no idea where to even start. Then I met Val. This program gave me a roadmap, a foundation, and encouragement to feel strong and nourished. I have learned mantras I'll carry with me for life. I am so grateful and would recommend this program to any postpartum mama. That's from Jenny, who just finished the program not too long ago. This episode will help you understand why that kind of change doesn't come from workouts alone and what actually makes the difference. So let's get into it. I want to start with a story about a friend and a client of mine because her experience is incredibly common and something that I hear a lot, especially among strong athletic women. She's been lifting and doing CrossFit for years, and even before getting pregnant, strength training wasn't new to her. This is what she did. She went to CrossFit 4 to 5 times a week. She was lifting weights. She was consistent and confident in the gym. When she was pregnant with her second baby, she joined my program. So yes, mamas who are pregnant can still join this program because guess what? You're going to soon be postpartum after that. And these are things that you can take with you during pregnancy as well as throughout that postpartum period. And she said something that I hear all the time. I thought I was engaging my core correctly, Val. I thought I was engaging my core correctly, but I wasn't. After what we've gone through in week 1 and in week 3 and 4 with the core engagement and the pelvic floor, I wasn't engaging my core correctly. And that is shocking. That was super shocking to her because she has been lifting for years. She's been going to CrossFit for years. And once she learned how to connect her breath, her alignment, and her deep core, everything changed. She didn't just lift heavier. She didn't just push harder. She actually was able to slow down. She was able to focus on stability breathing, her alignment, core engagement, all while moving. And that is difficult. It is very difficult to do. It's so easy to not pay attention to the alignment and the core engagement and the breath and just move. That's so easy. Anyone can do that. But when you're bringing your breath, alignment, core stability all in one, and then moving and breathing at the same time, right? Because we don't want to hold our breath. That's going to be a game changer. And she noticed something almost immediately. her back stopped hurting during pregnancy and then postpartum. She was able to compare it to her first pregnancy and then her first time after having a baby. Her back stopped hurting. The same approach carried her into the postpartum recovery period. And compared to her first pregnancy, she felt stronger, more stable. She recovered faster. She told me all the time, Val, I am recovering faster. Like, yeah, my body knows what to do. I've had a baby before. I'm used to this, but I'm recovering faster because I'm integrating everything that I learned during pregnancy with core stability and engagement and breathing. And I'm taking that with me in this postpartum period. The same workouts, the same gym, completely different signals. How awesome is that? If you're interested about what she learned and what is involved in the 8-week group coaching program, go to wellnessbyval.com/program to get more information. Now, I noticed the same in my own training too. Over 2 years postpartum, 2 years into this beautiful journey, and I noticed the same thing. When I really engage my core, the way I teach inside my program, I feel a huge difference in stability and strength. I feel it and you can see it. So when I'm recording myself or I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can see the difference when I'm engaging compared to when I'm not. And just a few weeks ago, I noticed it when I was doing pendlay rows, which is a barbell bent over row, and single arm dumbbell chest presses on an incline. I felt a big difference by just engaging the core. Same weight, same movement, completely different experience because of all of this stability. And that's because strength isn't just about what exercises you're doing. It's about how your body receives the signal. Now, if you take someone who has never exercised or lifted weights and you start them on a progressive overload program, you're going to see a lot of changes, positive changes very quickly because their body is adapting. Now, let's say take someone who's been doing this for 2 years, for 5 years, like my client and my friend who's been doing it for more than 5 years. And then you integrate how your body's receiving the signal with the strength, you're going to get even stronger. And that is what we want to see. So before we go any further, let's actually define what we mean by strength. Now, the NSCA, the National Strength and Conditioning Association, this is where I have my certified personal training cert through the NSCA. They define strength as the ability of a muscle or group of muscles to produce force. So in practical terms, a strength goal is increasing how much force you can produce, like progressing from a 10-pound dumbbell to a 20-pound dumbbell, or moving more efficiently with the same load. And here's the key most people miss. Strength gains don't come from one system in the body. It's not just the muscular system working. They require adaptations across multiple systems throughout the body, all working together. So we have to be able to have all of those systems be able to communicate. Now, how is strength built with the adaptations? Let's first talk neural adaptations. So this is your nervous system, learning how to recruit muscle fibers more efficiently. When you're postpartum and you're starting to get back into body weight, you're doing what I teach you in week 1 of my program, core stability, as well as the stability breath and diaphragmatic breathing. You're integrating your nervous system. One, we want to calm the nervous system, but we also want to be able to integrate it. Now, I remember I was like 2.5 months postpartum, and I go to do a deadlift with just a barbell. I think it was even just dumbbells at first. And it's like I forgot how to do a deadlift. My brain and my body and my muscles were like, wait, hold on. I'm moving all weird. This isn't making any sense. Hold on. So my nervous system, because of everything that I went through, it needed time. It needed to relearn how to recruit these muscle fibers more efficiently so that I can actually move as one versus totally separate parts, right? Now, early strength gains are often going to come from better coordination and communication between your brain and your muscles, not muscle size. So this is why slowing down, improving your breath and engagement can make you feel stronger without changing the weight. I want you to try it. Now, in my program, in week 1, we really dive into stability breathing and we continue to build on that throughout the weeks. This is what I want you to do. You breathe into the rib cage, you maintain intra-abdominal pressure, You control it, you maintain that expansion 360 degrees round. You're really activating your deep abs, and then you're moving. So when I was doing the incline dumbbell single arm chest press, yeah, if I just laid on the incline bench and I just started pressing, like, yeah, I probably could feel it in a little bit in my triceps and my chest. But imagine what engaging the whole system, what that would do. It's going to make you feel stronger without changing the weight. Now there are also architectural adaptations. These changes are in muscle structure, fiber length, shape, arrangement. And so, of course, as body composition changes and as muscle changes and this muscle grows, you're going to see this change as well, and just how you look, right? Your aesthetic. And so these adaptations help muscles tolerate load and also generate more force, but they take time and they require adequate recovery and fuel, which we're going to dive into today. There are also technical adaptations. So this is how you perform a movement, alignment, breathing, core engagement, all of that is going to live in this area. This is exactly what my client experienced. Same movement. Let's take back squats, better technique, better outcome, and then her back doesn't hurt. Like, how awesome is that? That's so cool. There are also hypertrophy adaptations. So this is muscle growth. Think of the muscle actually growing. And while it matters, it's only one piece of strength. Hypertrophy depends heavily on fuel, recovery, hormonal environment. There's a lot going on. So when moms say, I'm working out, but I'm not getting stronger, I'm not noticing that, it's rarely because they aren't trying hard enough. It's usually because one or more of these systems isn't being supportive. Okay. And usually it's more than one. We're just focused on the movement, but we're not focused on the breath, the core stability. We're not focused on the technique of the movement. And when we start to bring all of these in together, you're going to notice a big change. And then you're going to notice, whoa, I'm not hurting myself. I'm actually able to lift heavier loads over time when I focus on progressive overload. How cool is that? And then this transforms or goes into your busy mom life. You're able to do everything that you need to do as a mom without hurting yourself, without getting tired. Now, we also need to talk about what lifting heavy actually means, because this gets misunderstood all the time. Lifting heavy does not mean maxing out every workout. Lifting until form breaks down. Training to exhaustion. Your body's gonna be like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? This isn't how we get stronger. This isn't how we adapt. Heavy is really relative to you. Now, when you're pregnant, the goal isn't to get to a 1 RM. The goal isn't to get to a 1 rep max. It's a totally different period. Now, can we still lift moderate amount of weight? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And there's more research coming out on how that's beneficial to the body and to baby. But it's not a time where we're going to be, let's say, training for a high rocks or a CrossFit competition or a marathon. No, we're not in that type of training. We're actually in a deload training, and we're training for something even more intense. That is labor and delivery, okay? And for that, it requires a totally different type of workout plan. Now, when you're postpartum, you have to first focus on the breath. You have to be able to actually physically recover from all the trauma that you went through. And then you build up from there slowly. You focus on the breath in different positions, and then you add in some body weight movements with that breath with modifications, and then you amplify those movements. You make them a little bit harder, and then maybe you can focus on speed, and then you add in light dumbbells and bands, and then you work your way up heavier, and you get the point, right? You're progressing over time. So I don't want you to think, 6 weeks postpartum, I have to go lift heavy. No, it's really relative to you and where you are in your journey. Let's also talk reps in reserve, okay? One of the most helpful concepts in strength training is reps in reserve, or RIR. I feel like RIR is harder to say than reps in reserve. Reps in reserve simply means how many reps you could still perform with good form before failure, okay? When I recommend leaving 2 to 3 reps in reserve, that means you finish a set, you finish that movement, knowing you could do a couple more. You could do 2 to 3 more, but you intentionally stop. You're leaving 2 to 3 reps in reserve. So if you feel like you can do 10 more, 20 more, and you can just like go all day, the weight isn't heavy enough. And we also need to look at form as well. And are you breathing in and staying in alignment and engaged while doing the movement? So why do we want to focus on 2 to 3 reps in reserve, and why does it work so well for moms? Training with a smaller buffer is still going to stimulate your strength gains. So we don't have to train to failure. We don't have to do a 1 RM every single day. It's also going to protect the nervous system. It's going to support recovery. So you're pushing those limits to where your body's going to be able to adapt, and you're going to get stronger and faster. You're going to see an increase in performance and body composition. You're going to build that muscle, but you're also able to support recovery and reduce injury risk because we're focused on all of those things. Now, especially postpartum, during breastfeeding or with poor sleep, your nervous system needs to feel safe in order to adapt. And so every day is going to be different. What's going on? If we didn't sleep good last night and then we try to go and lift super, super heavy, you may be able to do it, but more than likely, it's probably going to feel heavier than what it would normally feel like because your nervous system isn't ready for that. You didn't sleep adequately to fully recover from the day before, the few days before, to be able to lift that heavy. Strength grows best when the body feels supported, not threatened. So we want to support our body and be able to basically take a self-audit every day, every evening, to be able to check in, okay, what's working, what's not working, how do I need to change and adapt? What does my body need right now for recovery? Am I able to push myself to be able to get those 2 to 3 reps in reserve, or what do I need today? Now, the second signal is fuel availability. Now, this is a big one, fuel availability. Now, when I say fuel, I want you to think food, okay? Fuel. Many moms are unintentionally training in a state of low energy availability. Unintentionally, right? We're super busy. We forgot to prep a meal. We forgot to grab something. We just had a quick snack. We're relying on caffeine, and so we're actually not really hungry. And in sports nutrition, low energy availability it's going to be known as REDS, which is relative energy deficiency in sport. Anyone can experience this, men as well. And it occurs when there isn't enough energy left after basic needs like hormone production, stress regulation, daily activity, all the things that your body needs calories or energy for. There's not enough extra energy to be able to do those things, stay alive, and what you're asking of your body, like going to the gym and exercising and then being a mom and doing all of the things. So we're not going to be able to support training and recovery. Now, this is something that I noticed. So it's January 2026. Now in May 2025, I started exercising more. I was teaching more group fitness classes. I was teaching 2 back-to-back. I incorporated running. And so I was doing running and then a little strength session. And I was exercising a lot. And I started to notice a change in my menstrual cycle. Mostly the length was a little bit shorter, and then my period was significantly shorter. So my normal period, bleeding, was 7 days, and that went down to 3 days. Now that's still within the normal 3 to 7 days of having your period, right? But it wasn't normal for me. I'm like, that's weird. And it took me a second to really realize, like, oh my gosh, I've been exercising more and I haven't been eating enough. I haven't been fueling my body. So my body needs all of this fuel. Carbs, fat, protein, calories for hormone production, stress regulation, daily activities, plus all of the exercise that I'm doing and all of the things that I'm doing as a mom. And when we don't get enough of that, we're going to actually see things like your menstrual cycle take a hit. Hormone production is going to take a hit. And so that's something that I noticed in my own journey. And so I quickly was like, okay, I need to start eating more. And of course, let me back off the exercise. And so I started doing that, and my period went from 3 days to 4 days to 5 days to 6 days. And now I'm in this normal rhythm again. And with tracking my menstrual cycle using Mira, which I use with my clients, I was actually able to see how my cycle was regulating over the months. And that was super, super cool. Now, when we talk about low energy availability, this doesn't require extreme dieting. I wasn't dieting. I was still eating quite a bit, but I wasn't eating enough to support that extra movement. It can happen when moms prioritize protein, but they undereat carbs, skip meals, train hard while breastfeeding, underestimate how much energy motherhood requires. That was me. I was like, okay, didn't realize I needed to increase how much I was eating. Now, protein builds muscle. Carbohydrates are going to provide the energy to use that protein. So we have to make sure, yes, we're getting enough calories. We're also getting balanced macronutrients, one protein to support our muscle mass and everything that we need amino acids for. We also need carbohydrates for exercise recovery as well as fuel for exercise. We also need fat for our nervous system, for our brain. And so a beautiful balance of all of these. Now, strength adaptation is going to require all of that. So we have to be able to fuel adequately to be able to reach our strength goals. And now that I'm eating more and I'm exercising less, I'm noticing I'm getting stronger, I am getting faster, and it feels so, so good. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with you guys because it's something that I go through as well. It's not just you. Now, signal number 3, sleep and deep recovery, something we all need a little bit more of. Strength doesn't happen during the workouts. It happens after. So during the strength session, during your workouts, you're actually breaking apart the muscle fibers. Now, what happens after with fueling and then specifically your recovery and your sleep, that's what's going to help bring the muscle and then build it. And then, of course, you're going to have those other adaptations that we talked about as well. Deep sleep specifically is when growth hormone is released. Muscle repair is going to happen. Your nervous system recovery is going to happen. And so we want to make sure, of course, we're getting in all stages of our sleep, but we're definitely getting in that deep sleep. When deep sleep is disrupted, which is so common in motherhood. My toddler has been waking up, intermittently forever. And that definitely disrupts sleep. It's so common to have deep sleep disrupted in motherhood. Recovery is going to slow down. Strength is going to feel harder to access. So again, if we didn't sleep good, if we didn't get enough sleep, if we didn't get enough deep sleep, we didn't get into those different stages of sleep, you're going to wake up, go to the gym the next morning, and I guarantee the weight is going to feel a lot heavier than if you did sleep. For sure. Sleep is like number one. Sometimes things are out of our control, like our baby and our toddler waking up in the middle of the night, but there are other things, as I have talked about on the show many times, that are in our control. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't train. It means your body needs more support, not more intensity. So let's make our pre-bed routine a priority. Let's make calming down, getting ready for bed, giving ourselves enough time for sleep, especially if we know we're going to wake up in the middle of the night. Let's give ourselves some support. Now, common mistakes busy moms make. I see a few patterns over and over. Adding more workouts when progress stalls. Like, I'm just going to work out more. I'm just going to add a HIIT session. I'm just going to add a cardio session. Ignoring pain signals like back pain or leaking or any other type of pain. Underfueling while training very hard. So that's something that I was doing. Blaming themselves instead of the system. Strength struggles aren't a personal failure. They're usually a support mismatch. Now, strength isn't built in one place. It's built through how you move, how you breathe, how you fuel, how you recover, how supported you feel. And when those signals align, strength becomes something your body wants to do, not something that you have to force. If this episode resonated with you, and you're craving more structure and support like this systems-based approach is exactly what I teach inside my 8-week group coaching program, Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method. Inside the program, we focus on rebuilding strength in a way that actually works with your body, not against it, through nutrition, movement, recovery, and realistic habits for mom life. You can learn more by going to wellnessbyval.com/program. The link is also in the show notes. And if this episode helped you see strength differently, share it with another mom who needs that reminder. Thanks so much. Stay strong, stay nourished, and I'll talk to you next week. Hey mama, I hope you loved today's episode. If you got something out of it or simply enjoyed listening, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom who could use the support? And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in. It truly means the world to me, and it helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to go chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.